I saw some like dry brush and leaves around. So I said to move the bonfire somewhere else, and out of nowhere, Smokey Bear shows up and hugs me.
So you noticed some wildfire hazards and moved your bonfire to a safer location.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Smokey, all right. He likes when people help prevent wildfires. It's close. Not everybody gets the hug, my friend. So that's pretty special to get a hug from Smokey Bear.
Huh, so it was him. Hey, guys, I told you it was Smokey.
Okay, well, congratulations, my friend. And thanks for coming. There are many ways to prevent a wildfire. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. Waking up every day, lifting him from the bed to the wheelchair to the car to get him to therapy on time. It's no small task between the doctors and the diagnosis, but nothing can disable this love. This is my big brother, my hero. He's part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. See, there's no time for tired. This starts again tomorrow. He'll be waiting for me. I'll wake up for him. I know he needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 877-333-5885. Caregiving Resource Center. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do. Tell the world I see with an emoji to stop the bullies.
Know someone who's being bullied online? Send the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more about the witness emoji at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. Feedthepig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to mooch off your friends.
You gonna finish that grape?
You mean the one in my mouth?
You don't need to stop buying the necessities.
What you're smelling is a natural musk.
Ew.
You don't need to be a medical test subject.
How do you feel?
Mostly okay. Sometimes, though.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman. Let's break for lunch.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell your soul to the devil.
$15 is the best I can do.
All right, deal.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Best time, perhaps, today. During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. That's the bottom line. The Stone Cold said so.
Everybody dies.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it. Woo! Yes, sir, What the Rock is
Now, welcome to Off the Mat with Alex Lowe's, Josh Silverberg, and Lyle Gillen.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the only wrestling talk show on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Welcome to Off the Mat. My name's Alex Lowe's. With me at this time is Lyle Gillen in Long Island. How's it going, Lyle? How's your week been so far?
Going really well. I'm very excited that it's Friday and that Rampage is now on 7 o'clock just for tonight only.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't have to stay up till midnight, but well, it wouldn't be midnight, but I would end up taking a while to fall asleep after watching a wrestling show till 11. That's a blessing. I could get some sleep. I haven't really slept well recently, but I'm really excited to do this show. We got some huge news to talk about.
Absolutely. And
gonna be a good one.
Pertaining to one of the segments, I'm actually wearing a Nightmare Cody shirt for what we're talking about during the show. But first, here's how you can follow the Worldwide Sports Radio Network on Twitter, and how you can follow me, Josh, and Lyle on Twitter, and how you can download the free WWSRN app. First, you can follow us on Twitter. My Twitter is at @ShowSlows. Lyle's Twitter is at LyleGillen329, and Josh's Twitter is at Josh Silverberg. And make sure to follow the Worldwide Sports Radio Network on Twitter and Facebook at WWSRN_radio. Again, that is at WWSRN_radio. Also, if you want to call into the show, the number is 203-903-8271. Again, that is 203-903-8271. Also, make sure to follow Off the Mat on Twitter at Off the Mat WWSRN, and same for Facebook. And how do you download the free WWSRN app? It's very simple. You type in WWSRN in your Apple or Google Play Store. You download the app and you'll get access to show articles, bios, any replays of shows you may have missed, special guest interviews, and so much more. So please be sure to check all that we have available on Off the Mat, on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, and on bodyslam.net. Also, here is the Off the Mat website that you can find. The link is in our Twitter description for Off the Mat WWSRN. You click on that link and you'll get access to upcoming pay-per-views and shows, a show archive, special guest interview archive from all the guests we have had on Off the Mat, an ACW American Combat Wrestling page, and a Contact Us page if you want to contact us directly. So now, Lyle, it's time to dive into our first topic. And this is something that I saw during the week, which was very, very interesting. I just happened to be scrolling through my Instagram. MLW put out a news article that's saying that Killer Kross is returning to MLW for their big super fight show. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. What do you think about Karrion Kross going back to his roots and now going to where he needs to? Who do you think he's going to pick a fight with? Because I think there's two people that he could go up against in MLW, Jacob Fatu or Mads Kruger.
I think those would be good options, but I'm just thankful that he's going to finally be he's going to finally be Killer Kross again. And that's what he should have been. But, WWE has to PG everything, and they changed it to Karrion Kross.
It's awful.
But I'm very thankful that he's going back there. I think he's going to do well in the indie scene. I think if they kept him and Scarlett together and what they were doing at NXT, they had money.
Yeah, they really did. You think about all the big matches they had on at the takeovers for Killer Kross and Karrion Kross and what he did and how big of a impact he had for the NXT Yellow brand. But now that's kind of not the same anymore, because now NXT is focusing on younger and a younger talent and picking different talent from different promotions that are new to the wrestling scene.
Yeah, they definitely changed their way of going about things, and I think over the years we have realized that WWE doesn't handle the guys coming in through the indies very well.
No,
I
they
don't
don't.
think they understand them very well. There was a report that they had to make Karrion Kross a character, or they had to give him something.
Yeah, and
I don't understand that because
I don't either.
when you had him with the song, the TikTok, you had Scarlett. I feel like that was a lot, something you could really use to from a marketing standpoint to sell
Big
T-shirts and do things with. And I don't understand why they had to give him a mask. I don't. It just
Yeah,
it's a little
and
bizarre.
he talked about that in his interview with CVV Chris Van Vliet. If you haven't seen that interview yet, go watch it. It's on Chris Van Vliet's YouTube channel. And Killer Kross dives exactly into that part of his time with WWE and how much everything kind of changed after he got called up to the main roster. It's a great interview.
Okay, I'll definitely check that out.
And he also does touch a little bit on what he's doing now, because he's also not only is he still doing wrestling, but he's also diving into different things. Like he talks about wanting to do film, which I think would help him tremendously, because there's a lot of people in film for wrestling. So I think that would be a great move for Karrion as well. And I would like to see Scarlett have an independent move with him on probably over an MLW or wherever else he decides to go. But I don't think this MLW thing is a one-time thing. I think there's going to be more appearances from him, I bet. But this is definitely not the one-time thing for MLW. But and they put out an article saying the time has run out and Killer Kross has walked through MLW's open door policy. So Super Fight is going to take place on February 26th at the Grady Cole Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, featuring MLW Fusion taping. So this will definitely be on YouTube after it goes live. So I'm very interested to see who they put him up against. I think there's a different variety of people you could go with. One of them I mentioned earlier, Jacob Patu. You could put him against King Murtez. You could put him against I forget what this guy's name. He wears face paint. He's kind of like it's a psycho clown kind of gimmick. I forget what his name is, but he had a match against Alex Hammerstone about a week ago.
Okay. I don't know.
I do want to get your thoughts on this, Lyle. Speaking of MLW, did you expect the turn with Richard Holiday and Alicia Atout? Because I had a feeling it was going to happen. A small part of me saw it coming from a mile away, because you could tell the moment when Richard Holiday came out on the ramp with Alicia, and Alicia kind of just went around the side to the ring, and she wasn't really in the happy mood that she normally has on TV, especially with the interviews that she does with the people backstage. And you could just tell something was kind of different and off. So when Richard Holiday came in the ring, you saw him take that bat, one of the baseball bats, and whack Hammerstone with the baseball.
I thought they did a great job ending that show. I thought they did a great job especially with Alicia Atout. I think she's great. She's been on our show.
She really is.
I think for a while. I think she definitely deserves the opportunity to be in that role. I think she'll succeed and do a wonderful job. But did I see it coming? No. But
to me, it was kind of obvious with what the announcers.
Once they started doing it, I'll say it was more. It was obvious something was going to happen.
Yeah,
but you didn't see it coming and leading up to that. There wasn't anything much into that. So I wouldn't say I saw it coming, but I wouldn't say I was shocked. Kind of like in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a cool moment. That was a good ending for MLW, and I can't wait to see what else they do next week. I know they have a bunch of different shows coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. And now we'll just dive right into Stone Cold Steve Austin because I want to save the Cody discussion for when Josh gets here at 6:00.
Yeah.
And so recently, WrestlingNews.co put out an article saying Stone Cold Steve Austin is WWE return could extend beyond WrestleMania for more matches. So they're very possibly saying that he could not only have a match.
Where did you see that reported?
WrestlingNews.co.
I would go with, I believe Fightful was reporting that it was going to be only one-off or something along those lines. So I wouldn't really.
It could be a mix. It could be a mix.
I wouldn't think so. He hasn't wrestled in 17 years. He has bad knees.
Yeah.
Honestly, part of me doesn't even think that Stone Cold match happens at Mania. I don't find it to be much of a coincidence that this came out right around the time they were doing a buy one get one free ticket offer. Not saying his reporting is wrong.
No.
Just maybe
he's just doing a one-off appearance is what you mean.
I think it could be some not even that. I don't know. I'm still doubtful that it happens because the report wasn't.
He hasn't been in the ring for a long time, and he's just not in the shape that he used to be. You think about the 90s, that was a whole different era. That was a whole different time. And now Stone Cold is way past that.
The report that Sean Rossap posted, it didn't say that they came to an agreement and he was going to have a match. It said that WWE officials were trying to talk to him to get to have the match. So I wouldn't even be sure that it's still actually going to happen. I think it would, but if he's reporting on it, it could be more to it than he's allowed to say, or stuff that he hasn't confirmed yet. Kind of like when he reported the CM Punk stuff. He reported that it was that they were in talks and there was a chance he could come back. Not that he definitely was coming back. And I look at it as something like that. We could hear more later on, but as of right now, I still doubt it. He hasn't wrestled for 17 years.
No.
He has bad knees.
To me, if they're gonna do it, it has to be a one-time appearance, and it has to be against Kevin Owens. Because you think about it, Kevin Owens has been using the stunner, so he's been using that move a lot.
I think that's would be a good opponent. He can carry the match for the most part because Austin can't do much anymore.
No,
he can't move much. Can't do much of anything. Austin can probably like a 5-minute match, not even.
Yeah, not even less than that.
Maybe even a cinematic match. But I think that'd be great. I think it'll be terrible.
Yeah, I think
in front of a live crowd, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, and Booker T even said that on his podcast. He doesn't think the match should even happen because Stone Cold's not even in that shape that he used to be in.
I don't know. It just comes off as random because he's not physically able to really do much anymore. And if you're going to be having him come back, what's the point of having him come back? And I don't think that should be the last moment that we remember him of.
No.
Now, let's compare Goldberg. Mm-hmm. Now, what would have been a better way of remembering him last? When WCW ended? When he came back to wrestle Lesnar at Mania?
Mm-hmm.
Or what he's doing now?
This will make this what he's doing now would make him less remembered.
Yeah, and even when he did that match he had against Austin, that was not a good way to be remembered. So you look at it, and he came back really to, one, for his kid, and two, part of it he wanted to be remembered in a better way, but he can't wrestle anymore, and it's gone too long.
Yeah,
he's not good.
Agree.
No one wants to see him. No one wants to remember him this way. And I think if Austin comes back and has a horrible 5-minute match where he does nothing just for a cheap pop, I don't think it's I don't think it's the right way to remember him.
No,
I think the way he ended his career against The Rock that was a great way to remember him. That's a great way to end your career and go off.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think it's something that should be done.
No, and you're right, because people want to remember. People want to remember Stone Cold for those matches, the matches against The Rock, the matches against Shawn Michaels, the matches against Triple H. People want to remember those type of matches that Stone Cold had, not something that's brand new that is basically going to do damage to Stone Cold's career.
Do you think that they were desperate in bringing him back because they were having trouble selling tickets in Dallas for 2 nights?
I think that's what it is. The WWE is struggling, and they've been struggling for a while. They really have. You see the ratings. They only get like 1.8 million now. That's it for Raw and SmackDown combined.
So someone, I shared the group. Someone commented, a tag team match for Mania. Stone Cold and Taker versus KO and Rollins. That's something you would A, want to see, and B, think could happen.
I think it could happen, but it's not going to be a long match. It's not going to be an overdue 15-minute match. It's going to be like 5 minutes or less.
I also don't see Taker doing anything physical at Mania.
And I don't think Taker's doing anything either.
I don't think he'll do any matches at Mania. I think he could have maybe a tiny something, but I doubt it. He seemed pretty set that he was retiring.
Yeah.
I know everyone wants to see him come back, but this is kind of his hurrah at WrestleMania that he's going to be getting. He'll come out at Mania like everyone does for the Hall of Fame. He'll get his big send-off that way that he deserves in front of the crowd. But I think he's done. He kind of led everyone on to believe that he was done. He has to retire eventually. He can't be wrestling until he's 80 at WrestleMania.
No.
Nobody wants to remember him that way. It goes back to what I said about Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to remember Undertaker barely being able to move around the ring and injured? He's kind of at that point now.
Yeah, he kind of is.
It's not how we want to remember him.
No.
And I think that I just don't think Taker will do anything. I don't think Stone Cold should do anything. But I don't know. I can picture it happening for 5 minutes because I think they're desperate for tickets. But
yeah, they're just trying to get ticket sales. They're trying to put butts in the seats, basically.
I don't blame them. Like, that's a tall task. Selling out that arena for 2 nights in a row. They'll do what they always do and fudge your numbers because every Mania they do that. But that's okay. I think most wrestling companies, to a degree, will do that. They do it in sports too. But it's a tall task to sell out that arena for 2 nights in a row.
Yeah,
even one night. That was. What did they do the last time they were there?
The last time they were there in Dallas?
32. I think it was 32.
It could have been, yeah. It must be 32. It has to be. But speaking of The Undertaker has been confirmed as a headline for the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2002. What do you think about this, Lyle? Do you like that the Undertaker is finally getting inducted? And who do you think is going to induct him into the WWE Hall of Fame?
There's a few names that people have been bringing around. Mick Foley, Kane, Michaels. I think Kane fits better.
Yeah.
Now it depends. Sometimes they allow the wrestler to pick who they want. And sometimes they pick for them. If what's his name was still alive, I think he would have done it, but he's not. I don't know. I think there's a few ways they can go. I think Kane is definitely where they're going to go. That's probably the most obvious answer.
Yeah, it would only make sense for them to do Kane because Kane and Undertaker, they basically had a bunch of matches together. They formed a tag team as the Brothers of Destruction. They've had many iconic moments together in WWE. including matches against the Wyatt family, matches against the corporation, the matches against DX, and so much more. So I really do think it's Kane that puts him in the Hall of Fame, because Undertaker was the one to announce Kane's Hall of Fame, so it would only be fair if Kane does it back for the Undertaker.
Yeah, I can picture that.
And Undertaker's done so much in his career. I'm not. Let me see. How many world title wins has Undertaker had? I'm pretty sure.
While you're looking that up, I was trying to think for a while for a list, since it was kind of evident he was going to be retiring soon. The last few years, I can't figure out what he's going to do when he comes there. He's not going to be doing the dead man.
No, he's not.
He can't do that for the Hall of Fame.
I think he has to do the American Badass.
I don't think he's going to do either. I think he's just going to go out there as Mark Calloway. Go out there wearing blue striped shirt.
Just mean Mark Callis.
No, wear a striped shirt and just talk. Just be himself. I think that's the best way to do it. We already saw that side of him in the Last Ride documentary, which was very good. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I don't think that it's gonna be weird if he goes out as a dead man and does that. That kind of breaks that entire gimmick.
Yeah, it does.
And he's already broke it with his match against AJ, where he came out as a mixture of the dead man and American Badass. But with the Last Ride, he was kind of completely out of that. So I don't think that he's going to go back into the dead man role just for the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. I think he just comes out. But I think at Mania, he'll come out in
definitely at Mania.
Full dead man. At Mania, yeah. But at the Hall of Fame, he'll definitely just be himself.
Yeah, just be himself at the Hall of Fame. But The Undertaker has won 7 world titles for the WWE. And then in Match of the Year 1998, he got that for Mankind, a Hell in a Cell match at King of the Ring. So he's done a lot. He's accomplished a lot. And it goes without saying, The Undertaker has just done tremendous feats, including the streak, which went all the way up until, I believe, WrestleMania 29.
No, streak ended at WrestleMania 30.
30, yeah. Against Brock Lesnar.
Me and Josh were there with WrestleMania 29, and he definitely did not lose against CM Punk.
No, he did not. So he's done a lot, and I'm very excited to see the Hall of Fame, the speech that he's going to do, and I wonder how the fans are going to react to it. I think the fans are going to give him a really good welcome into that class for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't know what they're going to do with the rest of the Hall of Fame. I don't know if they're going to have other guys get in. A lot of people have been speculating that it's just him. I don't see that. I think they'll definitely have a couple extra guys on, but it's after SmackDown.
Yeah.
Goes off the air. They're then going to transition to that. And I believe their local time, it'll be from 7 to 9, and then 9 to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So Eastern time, it'll be till midnight, which that's late for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it really is.
I could be wrong in that time slot, but that's how I believe it will be done. I don't think you could have just Taker by himself.
No, you can't.
They'll definitely have some other guys on there. Maybe he'll get the most time. Maybe it'll be a shortened class, but I don't see them doing that.
No. And I do see for the WWE Hall of Fame, I do see them doing a opening video package for The Undertaker after his speech. And I wonder what they're going to put in those clips. I would like to see the Hell in a Cell match in there. I would like to see stuff from his WCW career a little bit when he was there before he went over to WWE. I would like to see the matches with Brock Lesnar, the moment where he got eliminated by Maven in the Royal Rumble. I want to see that in all those clips.
Okay.
Because that was pretty shocking if you remember that.
Yes, I
Nobody
do.
was expecting that. Nobody. And then matches against Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and matches against Kane when I think it was early. I'm not sure what year it was, but it was a year where The Undertaker came back with Paul Bearer. I'd like to see Paul Bearer in there too. They cannot.
Oh no, they can't not have him on there.
No, they cannot have him. They have to have him in the clips. They really do.
100%. He is quintessential Undertaker. There are so many people who haven't watched in like 20 years that when you mention the name of The Undertaker, they still go, oh yeah, does he still have that guy with him? Well, this would be like 5 years ago I was getting this all the time, but like this is how people remember him. They remember Paul Bearer being with him. They don't just remember The Undertaker.
No.
It was the two of them together. That was the image, and I think that Paul Bearer has to play a huge role in whatever they do for him getting into the Hall of
by
Fame.
far.
That's why I wouldn't be shocked if they had one of his sons induct him, but I think that would be a I don't know. I don't think that it's gonna be something they do. I think it'll be. I think it's gonna be Kane, but I wouldn't be sure. That would be pretty cool if they did that. I know they. I think they inducted Paul Bearer into the Hall of Fame already, right? And
yeah, they have.
I think it was his son who accepted it, and I think that'd be cool if they had him induct Taker.
Yeah, and it's going to be an interesting WWE Hall of Fame. And as you touched on earlier, I don't know who else is going to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what other inductees they're going to include. But if I had to guess one that hasn't been in the Hall of Fame yet, that nobody's seen, and he's been wrestling in he had been wrestling in WWE for a long time. I would like to see this. I'd like to see what's his name? I'm trying to remember. Not Maven, somebody else. I'm trying to remember this guy's name because he had matches against Undertaker. It's hard to remember. Josh would know. But we're gonna take a break and oh wait, we don't have a break. We're just going straight through because yeah.
Okay.
So now I'll just add Josh in. How you doing, Josh?
I said take a break at 6. We do the opposite. Okay, I can see the great producing as usual. Wonderful.
Well, as he touched on, there is no break apparently. I guess
no breaks.
Nope. Speedy
said we're going to the ringer. I guess cool. That sounds wonderful. Great.
Well, I guess you heard our conversation about the Undertaker, Josh. So, what are your thoughts about the Undertaker going into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, listen. Before I get to the whole accolades with the Undertaker, there's a lot to pinpoint about his career and everything like that. But first off, I just want to start by saying the Hall of Fame is hogwash. It's fake. It's garbage. It's not even remotely true. Nothing about it is true. It's a nice event in the sense that it gives the wrestlers their chance to, unless you're Hillbilly Jim, give them or Mr. T a chance to actually talk about their career in a wonderful, amazing.
All he did was want to talk about his mama. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, it's my turn. You had a half an hour. It's my turn. All right.
Don't yell at me. I'll sell your dynamite ticket to somebody else. Okay.
It's my turn. Damn it! Listen, I've been dreaming about Vegas all day today.
Wait, hold on. What were you dreaming about in Vegas? Because it's part of that is not something you want to dream about when you're at working at a school.
Let me tell you, oh, dude, I've been dreaming about Vegas all freaking day today in May, Memorial Day weekend. But anyway,
there's some brothels right outside Vegas that are.
Yeah, I don't want to go to those. I'm talking about stuff, But anyway, the point is, like, the Hall of Fame is hogwash. Having said that, I think it's fantastic. You had a feeling this was going to come eventually, especially it being in Texas, in his hometown, in his home state. It makes all the sense in the world for this to get butts in the seats, no pun intended, to get people to really, because people are going to watch. They're going to watch this, and everything like that. And I'm sure you guys touched on. I don't know if I didn't get to hear the beginning of it because I was driving. I don't know if you guys touched on the Cody stuff yet. And
no, we did not. We were going to wait for you.
Cool, perfect. So with the Undertaker, I mean, he was Sting's my all-time favorite, but Undertaker is right up there with me. I mean, I grew up with the guy my whole life, watching him with different characters, and he's one of the very few characters that I've seen in professional wrestling where he's made different personas work. He made the Dead Man character work, corporate ministry. He did a great job as the leader with that. Then he went to the American Badass character. And he made it all work. And that's a testament to him. Because it shows that, first off, he is, and he always was very dedicated to his character.
Yeah.
That was something he was always, he was a true professional.
He was a locker room leader, too.
He was the guy. I mean, they had a thing. Remember, they had it with Court.
No, we should not remember that for him.
No.
That was not something good to remember him by.
What?
Some of the stuff that they did and some of the stories that came out were not very.
Well, of course. I mean, listen,
good.
I get that, but at the same time, he was the
locker room leader, but times have changed.
Some
of the comments he has said since then about the wrestlers have not been very good, also. But
no, they have
not. That's because it changed drastically.
And that's a fair assessment. At the same time, I want to think of the positives. That's what I am. I'm a very positive person. And Lyle's known this about me for years. I'm always a positive guy. That's always how I look at it first. I mean, it goes back to me being a school teacher. When you talk to a student, you always start with the positive feedback. You want to make them feel good. And then you talk about things that need to work. It's like Lyle said, there are stories that have come out with him that have been very controversial. Having said that, he's one of the greats. He was one of the few that stuck by a sinking ship in the WWE, especially in the mid-90s. That was a disaster. And guys fled, left for money. He didn't do that. He was a true soldier to that company, even though it was failing. Not because of him. He was one of the few characters that was working with them. It was a lot of things with him. There's so many memorable matches you could think of with him. I mean, from the Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley to the Boiler Room Brawl, which to me is still one of my favorite matches to watch. I love watching the Boiler Room Brawl, the original one with him and Mankind, to the Inferno match with Kane. And I've gone on record as saying this, the greatest storytelling that I ever witnessed in professional wrestling in my years of watching was the Kane Undertaker storyline. That was the greatest storytelling that was ever told. It flowed well. A lot of it was basically grenades going off pretty much because you're hearing different with Kane coming out. In the home, the funeral home, Paul Bear's turning on the Undertaker. Things are being said and everything. You look at the promo where Paul Bear tells the Undertaker Kane is alive, and then of course the debut with the Hell in a Cell match with Michaels and Taker.
Apparently, they were only supposed to have one match, and he was so over to Kane that they kept him around. I think Kane actually said that in one of his.
It's not surprising because Glenn Jacobs was struggling to find who he was as a person. Yeah. And to me, I don't think there should be anybody else. I know he's had stories with Michaels, Triple H, even Vince. And I understand that, Glenn Jacobs has been in the news lately and everything like that, and some aren't happy with him. At the same time, I don't think there should be anybody else that should induct him but Glenn Jacobs. Because
I brought it up before. What if they had Paul Bear's son do it?
Could do that too, and that would be a nice connection. I agree with you on that. That would be a great connection. You remember when Paul Bear got inducted, Undertaker came out on the stage for a few minutes. At the same time, as great as it would be with Paul Bear's son doing it, and it would be really, really heartfelt. It would be a great story to tell. What Glenn Jacobs, you have to understand something. The Kane Undertaker story in the late 90s was unbelievable. And then you add in the whole aspect of with Stone Cold getting involved in the triple threat matches and the handicap matches being on Vince's side and everything like that. It was gold. It was something to watch. And like I said, and I will always stick by this. Kane Undertaker is the greatest storytelling ever told because it felt real. It felt very. You felt really into it. Now their match at Mania wasn't the best. You also have to understand something at WrestleMania 20. Who did Undertaker get put over by when he came back as Dead Man? Got put over by Kane. Knows the whole story and everything like that. And it was something that I look back on. There's never going to be another Undertaker that's going to give the years that he gave. I mean, the guy literally gave years and years and years of it. He didn't even have to wrestle.
Nope.
It was just the awe of the entrance. That alone did it. And it was even as the American Badass character when he came back. Go remember when he came back on the motorcycle and he attacked Triple H, and
I actually prefer that.
The pop that he got was.
I prefer that than the Dead Man gimmick. I think it was just cooler.
I think at the time it fit.
Yeah, it did.
More, and Taker wanted a change. And as I've said, he is one of the few that has made multiple characters work really well. And to me, I mean, the whole storyline going up to his match at Mania with Ric Flair at, I forget what Mania was. I think it was 17 when he attacked David Flair and Arn Anderson. It was awesome. I mean, the guy put Maven over in the Royal Rumble. I mean, that's how dedicated he was to really making his character great, but his storylines amazing and jaw-dropping. When Maven Tough Enough Champion eliminates The Undertaker in the Royal Rumble, it was awesome because people were like, wow, that really happened.
People were like, what the hell?
Yeah, and Taker took it, and to me, there's not going to be an Undertaker. I mean, look, he put Brock over at Mania.
Yeah.
And he finished the match with a concussion.
Let's reflect on that for a second. How do you think that aged? Do you think that was the right call looking back now? Or do you think that should not have been done?
At the time, I was against it. But when you hear him talk in his documentary with the network at the time, or now on Peacock, I understood where he was coming from now. Because the thing is, there was nobody that was coming into the WWE that had the accolades and the history that Brock had. And Taker said it in the documentary, and I might paraphrase, but he said, who had the history and the accolades? UFC champion, WWE champion, All-American at the University of Minnesota, got to the NFL. It's going to be very difficult to find somebody that had the achievements and the awards that Brock had. Because let's be real here. If Brock didn't do it and Brock was a beast at the time, who else was going to do it? Because I'm going to tell you, if it was Roman and again, no, but you know,
no. Remember that reaction he got after he beat him, and he was the one who broke the streak.
But you know what, though, and I completely respect Taker for this. When he said Roman had nothing to do with that match being bad, that was my fault. And honestly, when you look back at it, and I've watched the match before a few times, he's right.
Yeah.
Taker screwed up a lot of the stuff.
He did.
He didn't put all of his weight on the suplexes with Roman.
And you could tell his movement was off during the match.
He was off. He didn't put, like, when Roman went to go give him he put him up for a suplex. Taker screwed up. He didn't jump off the mat in time. He was off. Everything was off that night.
I was there. I saw this match live, WrestleMania 33.
But even his last Mania match with AJ, I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was really fun. It was so different. And the thing was, Taker said it. AJ Styles, when he signed with WWE, was one of the guys he said there were, at the time, there were very, very, very few he would fight again in WWE to come back out of retirement. AJ Styles was one of those guys. And I respect that, because the thing with Taker is when he one, gets motivated, and two, he finds an opponent that he really wants to fight. Like, he really, really, really wanted to fight Bray at 31. That's why that match was really good. He was healthy, motivated, energized. He did everything right, you know? So to me, the Bray Taker match, which is a match I don't think, and I'm not even saying this because I'm a Bray Wyatt fan, I'm saying because it's the facts. Look back at it. It's a really, really great match. And give Bray credit because Bray carried the entire
he really did.
rivalry
Off in that match.
up until Mania for 2.5 months because Taker didn't show up. Bray did all the work. Bray did everything. He did the promos. He did everything. And when Taker is motivated, and the thing is, Taker finished that match at Brock with a concussion. Think about that. I mean, he passed out backstage. God bless the man, first off, for finishing a match with a concussion. God bless the man for finishing a match with a concussion against Brock Lesnar. That's not easy to do. And he did. And so to me, Taker is, listen, the guy was here forever. He was. I mean, he beat Hulk. He did something at the time that nobody ever thought could happen. He beat Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship.
And then Hogan
did. I mean, that was an impossible feat at the time. Never going to happen. It was never going to happen.
And then Hogan threw a little fit that that tombstone is dangerous.
Yeah, I know. So then, like, 2 weeks later, he lost it to this Tuesday in Texas. He lost it this Tuesday in Texas. He lost it, but even still, though, it was still a monumental feat because at the time Hogan was unbeatable. Nobody was able to do it. Andre couldn't do it. Earthquake couldn't do it. King Kong Bundy couldn't do it. All the big guys could do it. And Taker, this young up-and-coming guy who had only been in the company for a year or so, beat him. And then, of course, the WrestleMania streak. That's never going to be duplicated again.
No.
Oh, okay. So me and Alex were talking before he came on. If anyone else would be in that Hall of Fame, and they're gonna have a lot of time to fill up. I don't think he's gonna be talking for an hour and a half. But my question to you, and someone brought it up in the comments on our stream, do you think Psycho Sid could get inducted?
It's actually so funny that you bring that up because I was actually watching a documentary like 2 days ago about Psycho Sid. That's so funny.
I'm really sorry.
I think Vader should definitely be in before Psycho Sid.
I think, didn't he get in?
I don't think Vader got in.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Somebody want to fact check that?
I will do it now.
Yeah, I don't think he's gotten in. I mean, John Tenta hasn't gotten in. Earthquake.
Yeah. I think he did. Let me look. No, he did not.
He didn't get in. Earthquake, John Tenta hasn't gotten in yet. King Kong Bundy's not going to get in. Obviously, before he passed, he had the lawsuit with the WWE.
What about Wild Man Mark Merrow? You have to put him in at some point.
Mark is doing a lot right now. Actually, he's a motivational speaker right now.
Yeah,
and
he is.
A friend of mine at his school, he came to my friend of mine's school last year to talk.
Wow.
Yeah. So, if Psycho Sid gets in before Vader, I mean, let's call it what it is, right? Like SummerSlam 96, 97, when he beat everybody, wanted him to beat Shawn Michaels.
Yeah,
that was the thing. I think Vader
should have been in a long time ago. He was probably one of the biggest stars in Japan in the late 90s. He was insane over there.
Yeah, he was over as heck.
He was over in Japan. Forget it. He was
God,
over in WCW. I mean,
when he came over to the WCW, that was a huge deal because of how big he was in Japan.
He was, and then he went to the WWF, and he was supposed to win the WWF championship, and Shawn Michaels was an asshole.
Well,
Michaels, I mean, literally, Vader screwed up one thing, and Shawn Michaels legitimately in the match kicked him in the head and called him stupid.
There was if you want to think about how over he was beating Misawa and Kobashi in All Japan in the 90s. That's how over he was.
And he was all over the Japanese wrestling magazine.
He beat Antonio, and I believe
he was
beat
all
Antonio
over it.
Inoki in like 5 minutes, and people rioted. And, I mean, do you think about it this way, right? Like we talked about Undertaker beating Hulk Hogan, correct? That's like in Japan. That is similar to Vader beating Antonio Inoki. That's something that Inoki was. He was Hulk Hogan in Japan. That's how big he was. And Vader beat him in like 5 minutes, and people were rioting in Japan about it. I believe, after that happened, because it was with New Japan when it did happen, Sumo Hall, I believe, suspended New Japan from their home, from the hall for 3 years because of that decision. And to me, I mean, again, King Kong Bundy should be in. He will not get in, honestly, because it's unfortunate with the whole thing. I mean, there's, I think the more interesting conversation is going to be who gets in Hollywood next year. I mean, I would think
Rock.
I would think
it's the best opportunity to do the Rockies. Probably the biggest actor in Hollywood right now.
Rock, some are now maybe saying because Batista's so big now that The Rock might not want to be in yet. He might want to do it on his terms, and if that's the case, then Batista's the easy answer. Because Batista's so big now.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he's so over right now.
He's not bigger than The Rock.
No,
never.
Never.
No way.
Oh, I never said that. That's no. But I mean, the guy's doing the guys in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's doing Super Bowl commercials now. So to me, if The Rock's not ready, then it would be Batista would be headlining it. That would be the ideal fit, I think, being in Hollywood and everything like that. But I know we have to move on. But
yes, Eddie, Batista over John Cena. I agree.
Well, Cena's not going to do it yet.
No, he's not.
It's too soon for him. I mean, but then again, you got Edge who got in, but then again, nobody knew Edge was going to come back. That was the thing. So I don't fault the WWE for that because it was career ending when Edge had the surgery.
Supposedly,
yeah.
So yeah, but I know there's more we got to get to. And it obviously has circulated. We have two big stories we have to get through. One of them is the T-shirt I'm wearing with Stone Cold. He's going to be back at WrestleMania by all accounts. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Obviously, the news coming out, and if you live under a rock and you're a wrestling fan, well, clearly you haven't been on. Well, you know what? I don't care if you covered it earlier. I'm going to do what I want to do because I let you talk about the Royal Rumble last week, scumbag. So I'm going to say what I want to say, damn it, okay?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay.
It'll go to wrestlers' court and we'll decide.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am the judge, the jury, and the executioner. I think we're happy. Okay? So anyway, I'll get to my thoughts on Stone Cold later. But in all seriousness, I did want to talk about that. I think I have a lot to say about it. But obviously, if you live under a rock, the news broke this past week and a half, that Cody Rhodes is officially out at AEW. And then there were reports that he is close to signing with WWE. And now there are reports that are saying that he hasn't signed with WWE. Then there's reports that he's already started filming promos with WWE. So things are going back and forth. And now some are saying
the only one anybody should have listened to is Sean Ross Sapp, Cassidy Haynes, and there's a couple more out there, but the list is very small.
Yeah, it is.
It's very small. If you see, Meltzer too. Meltzer has been all over this. He's done a very good job. If you see like Ringside News say something, just laugh and keep scrolling. Anything that's not a major outlet, then don't listen to it because very few of them actually know anything.
I was expecting more powerful, bigger words out of you.
I'm trying to be careful how I word this. Fightful, Body Slam, WON, maybe Wrestling INC.
Wrestling INC is good. I don't mind them.
They're solid.
They're now getting more legit with what they're reporting now. and everything like that. I mean, not them. No, who am I thinking of? Not Wrestling INC. They're always real legit. I'm thinking of another one. Wrestling News.
No, they're not. Wrestling News? Wait, you mean Ringside News?
No, not Ringside News. No.
I was gonna say
another one. It's like wrestling. I'll get it later. I'll remember it later. There's another one.
You must not be getting that big if you can't remember their name.
No, you know. Hey, listen. I literally walked in the door 5 minutes ago and I hopped on. So,
oh wait, you got here at 6 o'clock. That would have been 6:16 that you came 5 minutes ago.
All right, jackass. You know what I mean. All right. Yeah. So anyway, if you live on a rock, Cody Rhodes is officially out at AEW. I'll let them go first. I have a lot to say, and it could be controversial, what I'm going to say. And I'm going to phrase it correctly. But I do have some harsh words for how this went down because I was very upset about it. I didn't like it. I was not happy about it. So whichever one of you go first, because
no, you go. Yeah. I want you to go.
You want me to go?
Now I want to know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
All right. So it's in regards to how this whole thing planned out, right? I mean, this whole, Cody was the EVP, and he was one of the founders of AEW. Facts, right? We all know this. We all know this. It was the case. Him, the Young Bucks, as they say, the founding fathers with Tony Khan for AEW. To me, and it's interesting, right? You're hearing reports come out that Chris Jericho has options, the Young Bucks have options, Kenny Omega has options. Well, I mean, those were all picked up, but Cody's was not picked up.
No.
And I find that very odd. Now, I have a thought to this whole thing. It's in regards to how this is being played out. Cody made a great statement, and Tony Khan, this is where I get the cheek. That's the one this really bothered me with him. It really bothered me that this happened because and you may not agree, probably won't. I'm sorry. I think this was a power struggle that Tony started signing guys left and right. Punk, Bryan Danielson. I'm getting these guys. I'm getting this guy. I'm getting that guy. I'm bringing this woman in. Bringing all of them in. And again, there was another statement he made out today. I have something I'm going to release on Wednesday that's going to change the face of wrestling. He did that again. And to me, I think Tony got power hungry. And I'm sorry, I think he used Cody as a pawn to get talent here in the first place. There are things, you see it in the statement letters where Tony's name is on it, but it was never like the other people that are on it. And there were issues backstage with Tony and Cody not agreeing on things. And, again, the power struggle, right? We talk about it happens. Like when things get big, and let's be real here, AEW is doing well, but when things get big, sometimes it gets to people's heads.
Yeah.
It does. And I think this was a case where Tony felt a little threatened by Cody. And to me, I find it extremely insulting that he did not pick up his option. I think it's a slap in the face. This was a guy that helped you jumpstart this company, this brand, brought talent over for you, brought people in because he had connections. Because let's be real here, without Cody and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, AEW doesn't get the talent at the beginning that they get. And that's what just really pissed me off with how Tony did this. I don't like it. People in the locker room I know are pissed off. They're not happy about this.
Well, there was a report that there were also a lot of guys in the locker room that were happier about it, that he was gone. So maybe...
Not for Cody. It was not for Cody.
Don't unplug that.
Yeah, there was a report about how...
It was for Brandy. It was for Brandy.
I heard
they were happy that Brandy left.
Yeah.
No, there were a lot of people that came out and said that they were.
I did not see that report. I saw that
a lot of wrestlers in AEW came out and said there was nothing bad about Brandy.
Well, you know what?
And nobody had it. Everyone loved her back there. There were wrestlers in AEW that came out and said that report about Brandy was false.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'll tell you this: you could be pissed off at Cody all you want. Without Cody, AEW is not where it is.
Nope.
It's not.
I think it's as simple as him and Tony's had a falling out. I don't know if I don't think it's about power for.
I agree. I agree with Josh. I think it was a power hungry thing, and I think it had to do with money too. And then I think there had to be a disagreement on both ends. There had to be.
I think they just had a falling out. Because the week before, Cody and the rest of EVPs they were meeting and discussing plans for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't want to leave.
No.
He was planning on staying. He wanted to stay. He was telling people that stuff about his contract was just negotiations. He was going to renew and stay.
Yep.
And I believe that he actually thought that. I don't believe Cody wants to go to WWE. I don't believe that at all. I believe with every ounce of my body, Cody would rather take a year off and stay home with his child than go to WWE.
You think he doesn't go to WWE?
I'm not saying I don't think he does, but a big part of me thinks he would rather do that. Okay. All the things he said, not only on TV, I'm not talking about on TV, because that's all part of the character, but on the first Jericho cruise, after there's videos of him telling the crowd and joking around, pretty much making fun of reports of people thinking he would actually go back there. I don't know. It just, something seems weird. I don't think I don't know.
It's money too. Money talks.
Yeah, it's a money issue as
money
well.
Talks.
Yep.
Always money.
Well, Cody wanted $3 million a year to stay there. Now, just if he's just a talent or a wrestling talent, I don't think he's worth it.
No,
but for everything else he does, he is. And if you look at WWE, they definitely do think he is worth it because they're pulling away an executive vice president and a top talent from a rival promotion.
I mean, let's be real here. The Road to the Top show, which I watched, I thought it was a great show. I mean, I thought it was a really good show, and it did well, and it got renewed again.
It did, but they never announced it. They never announced it, but the report was it did get renewed again. And to me, I mean, even like the Shot of Brandy YouTube show was a hit. Yeah,
Shot of Brandy was a massive hit, and people always say, "Oh, well, Cody was always about himself and everything like that." So I'm sorry. You're telling me him putting over MJF, Darby Allin, and Mr. Brody Lee, is making it about himself? I mean, when he legitimately said, "I will never challenge for the AEW Heavyweight Championship again," let's be real here. In WWE, that gets canned away. Yeah. AEW, it didn't happen.
No,
he did not wrestle for it again. He put over young talent that he helped scout and bring.
He did a phenomenal job putting over talent.
I mean, he did a great job.
People were complaining about it for a while, but look at the main event from Dynamite last night, 2 nights ago. It was great, and those two guys are in the spot they are because of Cody.
That's 100% correct.
Yeah,
just like MJF is in the spot, and one of the big reasons is because of Cody in that storyline, and I mean, you could go Mr. Brody Lee beating Cody in like a 2-minute match. Malachi Black had 2 wins over Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Put him over. And so to me, listen, was the character getting stale? Yes. But I'm just so annoyed that Tony is, and I think it's great. He's bringing in this guy. He's bringing in that guy, and this girl, and that girl. But one of the guys that helped you build this empire that you're trying to build, and to just say, nah, we're good. I don't, and I'm sorry, I have an issue with the cons in general. I do.
I want to hear your opinion on this. I saw a report that he was still going to run the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the official. It's not the official school of AEW, but it kind of essentially is. You have QT as the head trainer.
Of course, QT's the head coach. Dustin's there. Yeah,
you have so many guys there. Now it is his separate school, but I find it very interesting that he's going to be doing that and going to WWE and still helping out essentially rival talent. So that is part of the reason why I think he would rather go to stay home for a year and just do that, because I think deep down inside that is a sign that he wants to help AEW without being contracted there.
Of course, he said in the same, he still wants people to watch AEW.
Yeah, he did. I was just about to bring it up, but
he wants to watch them.
I really don't think he left because he wanted to go to WWE.
Of course not.
No, he left because he was forced out the door.
Yep.
Which to me is disturbing. It's really disturbing.
Well, right now we think he's forced out the door, but
I understand.
It's professional wrestling. At Revolution, you can come out. We don't know that.
100%. But you know what, though?
I don't think it'll happen. But
no, neither do I. I think you know me. You both know me. I've been very mixed on how Tony Khan handles things at times. In the sense that I think, and again, even with the Khans in general, I mean, and I might even say it's because of wrestling, but like, look at how their sports teams are doing. I mean, they're both pathetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are. I mean, so it's like not that. I mean, AEW is not pathetic at all. AEW is really good. Obviously, some people might not think that, and that's their opinion. They're allowed to have their opinion. But when you're constantly bringing in talent left and right, and you're not picking up your guy who helped you build this brand back on an option, but you'll bring back other guys' options, to me, it's just mind-boggling to me. And call it like it is. When Cody was EVP, the stories that he was coming up with and helping create were really good stories.
Well, he wasn't actually involved in creative for a majority of his time in AEW. Towards the end of 2019 is when Tony took control over.
But you see what I'm saying? So he already started taking away. It went. Think of it as,
well. If you look at what was happening, it wasn't. I don't blame him, because a lot of the complaints were structure, storyline, and things that they were doing. And honestly, I think looking back, it's the right call. He had to. They were learning on the job, and you really can't take that chance. But I think that nothing. He did a better job, but I think the show got better than if they all stayed booking. Because if it stayed booking, you would have had Kenny doing the women's division, which was brutal at the time. Probably the only good spot was the tag division for the Bucks.
I mean, that was easy. They had every tag team on the planet.
They had the best tag, but they looked at the singles roster. It was good. It was good, but it was lacking in a lot of areas. Now we don't know where Cody actually would have gone with it, but I think that they had the right decision in the long run of Tony taking over booking, but Cody was doing so many other things in AEW, and that takes pressure off of Tony Khan. I think keeping Cody around, he's worth that extra money he wanted to, one, make your life easier, and two, he just does so much outside of at that show. The community outreach is a great example. The Nightmare Factory, he meant so much just away from, even outside of creative. But
to me, I agree with a lot of what you're saying, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Sure.
To me, we talk about when Cody had this, with the creative stuff getting taken away. I mean, you look at the roster that Tony Khan gets to work with now. I mean, it's a wrestling fan's dream.
So I want to bring something up really quick. A comment from the comment section. Eddie brought up asking what if it's a massive work, and it comes out at Revolution. I'm not going here, and goes heel. But here's the question: where's the end game in that? Because he was technically already.
He wasn't even contracted.
Well, no. He was getting booed more than anybody what he was doing originally. So what's the point in doing this just to get him to turn heel if it was so easy to have him be a top heel without much he was getting booed originally?
I mean, it would be kind of a great swerve, though, wouldn't it? He had the whole letter out, everything. I
don't think there's any end game that could really make sense.
No, I agree with you. I think it's an easy. I agree with what you're saying.
But it's not a heel turn, Eddie.
So it's which comment are you doing? The Facebook one?
Yeah, I'm reading Facebook.
Oh, sure, you can read the Facebook one. When I read the Facebook one, we're not allowed.
Well, I'm not reading people saying stuff that are like they're
hold on. First of all, Snug's your biggest fan, so I'm just saying, like, actually, you should love your fans.
I have a fan right behind my green screen. It's pretty large.
No, trust me, even that fan's not a fan. So it's but I mean, it just really upset me how this went down.
Yeah,
it's disappointing. I think
it is to a sense.
He's a tremendous loss to AEW.
Now, do you think he comes back eventually? I do. I don't think
when everything settles. I think when
the dust clears,
calm down, and because now the thing is, this is all on Tony now. This is all on him.
Yep.
He doesn't have a person to lean on and say, "What do you think of this? What do you think of that? How do you think this went? I think that one." That's another thing I thought Cody did a really good job with, is that he was kind of and if you watch Road to the Top, Tony leaned on Cody for, even though he wasn't making the decisions and stuff like that, he leaned on him for opinions.
Yeah.
And that's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not there anymore. And, to me, I mean, I'm still I mean, I still can't even get over it, how this all went down. I mean, it happened so fast.
I logged into Patreon as soon as the article from Fightful Select from Sean Ross came out. So I want to read it because I have no connection at work. I log in and I go back to Twitter to go click the link. And when I go click the link, it automatically refreshed, and Sean Ross is retweeting the statement from Cody and from AEW. I'm like, holy shnikes.
Yeah.
I mean,
I even put out a poll on Twitter saying, did the move of Cody Rhodes leaving AEW shock you? 85.3% said yes, 14.7% said no, and that's out of 34 votes.
Yeah, it's when you have a guy that was a massive, massive pillar in building a brand like he did. And let's be real here, Cody did a very ballsy thing. He did. He went into business with Tony Khan and said, we're going to build something. And let's also remember that the first ever show at AEW, he had the first 5-star match at AEW with Dustin.
That match was phenomenal.
I mean, I wish Tony and Cody would have figured this out.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, it just.
Also,
me,
I don't believe that all the EVPs have no creative control and no say anymore.
I would hope that's the case.
I don't believe that because when Swole left, she said she had an exit interview, and Kenny was there. Now, Kenny from the beginning was doing the women's division, so why would he be there if he had no creative control anymore? Maybe Tony Khan has the final say, but I think he still has some role of importance there. I think because there was a report that Cody wanted creative control to a limited degree, and Tony wouldn't give it to him at all. So maybe he took more of it away from Cody than he did in other areas. But I don't know. I think him and Cody had a falling out, and this is the aftermath of it. I think in hindsight, Tony is gonna regret it, but it's a shame.
I mean, does it almost come down to that and this is just my only thing, is Now, Vince McMahon doesn't get along with people sometimes, his superstars, but he keeps them around because it draws. Is this what's going to happen with Tony Khan? Is if he has a falling out with somebody, he's going to say, nope, can't work with you. I mean, if he does it to Cody, he could do it to anybody.
I don't think he drove him away on purpose. I think it was just Tony saw this as a chance to make him more of a talent because his EVP contract and all that stuff was up. I think that was more of what they were doing. Hey, you're just going to become a talent now.
But isn't that kind of a slap in the face? Because he helped Tony build this brand?
Yeah. I'm also guessing. I don't know what really is happening back there. Because Monday night they met for 6 hours and they talked about it.
I mean,
so
it's a demotion.
We don't know what happened.
Yeah, but in hindsight, it's a demotion.
Yeah.
You're getting demoted.
Yep.
And that's a slap in the face. And to me, we all have jobs and everything. If we got demoted, we'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're gonna demote you, but we still want you here. But we're gonna demote you to a lower. Yeah, it is actually. When you think about it, it is lower.
Yeah,
it's to a lower part of the totem pole. You're now just gonna be a talent. You're no longer anything in the creative meetings. Those are gone. You're out with that. I'd be pissed off. I'd be like, okay, well, AEW is doing well. I helped you bring in a lot of the talent in the beginning. Why are you demoting me?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
So Eddie says that Josh, this is a business. No one is owed anything. That seems idealistic.
That's fine. I understand it's a business. Trust me, I completely get it. Now, at the same time, it's also, when you think about it, when you're using some, and I agree 100%, it is, listen, sports, everything. It's a business. You're not owed anything. At the same time, when somebody takes a ballsy risk like Cody did and help put in money with Tony Khan for AEW and help scout the Darby Allins and the MJFs and the Jungle Boys and all that stuff, and you say, nah, you're good. We don't need you anymore. It's a slap in the face. Like, if you asked him, he has a job, how would he feel to be demoted? You'd be upset. Be upset. I'd be, that's like me being, because I'm a phys ed teacher. Okay, we will still want you to stay on staff, but we're going to make you, I don't know, we're going to make you work in the main office and answer parent phone calls. I'm freaking pissed. Because one, you're telling me that I'm not good at my job. That's one. You're already insulting me by giving me a demotion. Two, you're basically saying, okay, so you want to keep me, and he was probably going to get paid a lot less too, might I add. 100%.
I think they were going to, from what I remember reading correctly, I think they were offering him the same amount. He wanted more.
No, I'm with you. I just think, and I know we have to end this and get to our finisher and stuff like that. I guess people don't guess what mine is. But at the same time, I didn't like it. I was very upset about it when I was at work in my office. I read it and I was pissed because I just think that when something like that happens, and I get it, it's a business at the same time. When somebody goes to bat for you like he did, and that's how you let it play out, and you demote somebody from their job, it's a slap in the face and it's insulting. And to me, I just didn't like how it went down with the two of them. And I haven't liked a lot of the stuff Tony Khan's done the last few months. I like this. His signings are great. His signings of wrestlers are awesome. I haven't liked a lot of the stuff he's done in the last few months. I've not been happy. I think he has a lot to learn still about this business, and it comes at you very quickly.
I thought the last few episodes have been fucking awesome.
Really, this business comes at you very fast.
I thought the last few episodes were like really, really good.
No, they were. But again, like I said, in wrestling specifically, to keep you up on a pedestal, you can ask anybody, ask Eric Bischoff. It comes at you very fast, and you need to be ready at all times for when, if something goes wrong, and be ready for the backlash that will ensue. That's the key point of it. You need to have a backbone and be ready for it and be prepared for it and be ready to stick up for yourself. Otherwise, the fans are going to know and they're going to take the other person's side.
Yep.
That's where I'm at with it. So, my finisher is very simple. It's going to be about Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. That's the shirt. I think it's an interesting idea. The report is that they want him to do possibly more than one match. They're trying. Let's see. It's a 2-night event. You have Brock Roman, and you have Ronda Charlotte main eventing both nights.
Yep.
Now you have Stone Cold against Kevin Owens. Now you possibly could have Cody involved at WrestleMania. Now you're trying to put butts in the seats because you're filling it in Dallas. That will get people very intrigued. It will, especially if Austin's wrestling. And especially in Texas, people are going to go. They're going to go, and if Cody shows up, and that's the rumor, they're going to go because they're going to be very intrigued by it. Take Ronda and take Brock out, but just Stone Cold alone is a draw that people are going to say, "Oh, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued by this now." He's from Texas, hasn't wrestled in years. He's a great.
Do you think they let Cody use his normal theme, the Kingdom?
I'm curious. I think
he owns the rights to it, or not own the rights. I think maybe he does, but I think it's more like how CM Punk has the rights to use Cult of Personality.
I would love to see him wrestle Seth Rollins. That's a match that I'd be very intrigued by. Is him and Seth.
I'd enjoy that. I
would very much enjoy that. I think that's a match where the two of them can flow very well in the ring together. Their styles are Seth's a little more athletic than him, but their styles would be great. I think their promos would be really good. I think Seth's hysterical now, by the way, with this Joker character. I laugh every time I see it. It is really funny. I find it funny. So to me, like I said, if you get Cody there, you get Stone Cold there, you got Brock there already, you got Ronda there already, you got Taker going to the Hall of Fame. People are going to go that weekend. Now you're really getting people to come and get attracted to come into WrestleMania. So we'll see. I'm excited for Austin to have this match. I think KO's a good
I still don't think it happens.
I mean, look, I hope it does happen because I
think it'd be a terrible idea if they did. I said earlier, I think it's horrible. Why? I don't think he should be going out remembered this way when he can barely move. He has bad knees. The way he went out against The Rock, that's the right way for him to go.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, I just want to see it for the nostalgia of it. That's what I want to see it for.
Yeah, I understand that, but like
the kid in me is what I want to see it.
Like, I just don't think it would be good. I think it would leave. I think it would disappoint everybody.
I mean, listen, why are they doing this? They're doing it because it draws.
Oh yeah, they have no way of drawing 100,000 people on either night.
And if they get Stone Cold in, and they get Cody in, and you have Brock there already, and you have Ronda there already. I mean, let's be real. Ronda Charlotte's going to be a really good match.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like you're going to get people to come. Taker's going to the Hall of Fame. People are going to go. They're going to flock.
I don't know. I just don't think Austin goes and does it. I don't.
No, we'll see what happens. I mean, look, like I said, just the kid in me wants to see it. I don't expect it to be obviously a 5-star match. That's not even remotely what I'm thinking, but it'd just be fun to see it, see how he does. But that's my finishing move.
So my finishing move is I don't want to see the Roman Reigns Goldberg match of Saudi Arabia.
Nobody wants to see it, Alex.
Yeah, I don't want to see that match happen, and I don't think Goldberg should win the title. Absolutely not. If they do that, it's going to kill everything that Roman Reigns has worked for up till now. They can't do it.
I actually totally forgot about Blood Money Mania until you brought it up.
Oh my God, that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, tomorrow's Blood Money Mania.
I forgot. Lyle, what's your finishing move?
My finishing move, I want to give you guys homework. I'm going to give you guys homework to do, and I'm going to send you the link. And I'm going to send you guys the link to do it. You have a week off. You have time to do it.
Yes, I do. President's Week. I love it.
So I'm going to give you guys time to do it, and then we're going to talk. I'm going to get your opinions on it next week. I'm going to send you, or I will give you the dates, and you can go to YouTube and look for it. You're gonna watch the 6 matches of Misawa versus Kobashi in all Japan and Noah.
Good luck to Alex watching. He couldn't even watch a 5-minute promo with Brian Pillman in ECW.
That's your.
I'll watch it.
I know you will. Because you have nothing to do this entire week except for watching Caleb. But
yeah, pretty much. That's it. And making Melissa trying to make her happy. Get out of her way.
He probably sleeps for a while. So
Caleb?
Yeah. No.
You're funny.
During the day, he doesn't sleep.
Oh, it's like hit or miss.
So you watch one a day from tomorrow to Thursday.
I'll watch all of them in one day. Are you kidding me? I'll watch all of them in one day.
It's like watching a New Japan 45-minute match. With each one. So that'll be your entire day, pretty much. But no, their final match between them and Noah is considered by many the greatest match of all time.
Mm-hmm. Also,
very, very good.
If you guys wanted to watch something really cool on YouTube, by the way, Wrestling Bios. If you've ever seen Wrestling Bios on YouTube, it's awesome. Go check out their channel. They have wrestling bios of every single superstar pretty much that's ever wrestled in the history of professional wrestling and their career and life and everything. It's awesome. So check it out. Seriously, it's good stuff. But I am gonna. I'll watch those matches. I will.
Okay.
I will.
Alex, what about you, buddy? You gonna watch it?
Yeah, if I'm not working the whole week, I will.
Oh, here we go. We're starting up. Here we go.
So what time is Blood Money Mania tomorrow?
I don't even know.
I think it's 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8.
8 a.m.
8 p.m.
Why would it be 8 p.m.? It's in Saudi Arabia.
It can't be 8 p.m. Alex, it's freaking
probably 12 or 1.
Yeah, probably 12 or 1.
I'll be busy anyway, so I won't be watching it. But yeah, Jimmy, Yeah.
I won't watch it anyway because it will be a shit pay-per-view.
Oh, Alex! Language, kiddo.
You're watching, Alex.
Oh, Alex is on fire! Oh, man. All right, so before we make our way for Weapons Hot, we just want to tell you how you can listen to our show every week and other shows right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and, of course, on bodyslam.net. Check us out on the WSRN app. If you have an iPhone, go to the Apple Store, type in WWSRN. If you have an Android, go to the Google Play Store, type in Worldwide Sports. The entire app is free. Check out our show schedules, articles, content. If you want to rewatch an episode, if you want to rewatch an episode or you want to watch a clip of something you might have really liked and you want to watch it again, you certainly can on the app. Check us out, worldwidesportsradio.com. And now, of course, partnering with bodyslam.net. Check us out on there, too, on the YouTube page, on their website as well. It's all great stuff. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. We're all over the place. And then, of course, you have the Off the Mat website, which is on our Off the Mat Twitter page. So you can check that out as well. I know Alex always does a great job with it. He does an amazing job with it when it comes to the pay-per-view schedules, which it's not even let's call it like it is. Alex, it's not a pay-per-view schedule. It's literally every week. Dynamite. Oh, WrestleMania's there. Dynamite. Oh,
well, you can't forget about the New Japan anniversary show, too.
It's an 8.
I still can't believe you didn't go to Dynamite when it was in your city.
Yeah, what was that, man? What the freak was that? Really quick, I know we do have to go. I'm all in on Vegas.
You are? So are you ready to spend how much you're going to have to spend on the flights?
Okay. So, by the way, you saw what I sent you. I sent you that snapshot with the MGM Grand price, right? That was a great price.
I didn't. Maybe I missed it. Let me look.
Yeah, it was a great price. It was a great price for MGM Grand.
No, I don't see it.
I'll say it to you again.
Maybe,
so pretty much.
Yeah, maybe it didn't go through.
It was like 500 total.
So then technically it evens out then. So.
So it's like when you look at it, it would be so convenient because AEW Double or Nothing is going to be in MGM Grand. So it would be like, show's over. Yay, we could go back upstairs to our room now. It's awesome. It's great. It's awesome. It's the best. I mean, it's like, show's over. All right, everybody's leaving the hotel. They're going here. They're going. Now we're gonna go back upstairs. It's easy. It's great.
Or we can go to a bar.
Uh-huh.
And drink.
Yes.
And have fun.
Yes. Oh, dude, what are you kidding me? I'm getting there like Saturday
and
morning.
By the way, we should take a red eye on Monday night.
Are you nuts? Are you an idiot?
So that then we have the entire day of Monday, and we go there and we have fun, and then we go.
Speedy's saying wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah, Speedy. We'll wrap it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Wrap up, please.
Yeah, and this time name our show correctly, Speedy. I love you. Damn it, we're not recon missions, okay? For God's sakes. I mean, but thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy all the wrestling this weekend. Enjoy the wrestling next week. For Lyle, Gillen, for Alex Lowe's, for Speedy PD, I'm Josh Silverberg. Thank you so much for tuning in to Off the Mat here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network and bodyslam.net. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Kenny Omega, say what you got to say.
Bid you adieu. So say with me now if you know it. Goodbye. And good night.
Thank you for listening to Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, your source for all things wrestling and sports entertainment. It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Hi, this is Terry Crews.